You know, I never really get sentimental when I watch movies. I never tear up. I never get emotional. I never necessarily see myself getting upset because that's not really the type of person that I am. Is when I get teary eyed when I watch a film. It's very rare when it happens, and if a movie does its job to where I actually start getting choked up and emotional and physically showing tears, the film did something. This is one of those movies that actually did it for me. And it's been a long while since I have seen this particular movie. Like, it's been quite a little bit for me. But I remember when I first saw this film, I watched it, I ended up loving it, but the ending didn't necessarily choke me up as it did. But then again, long time ago. But since I saw this again now, the movie came out in 1990, and I love Patrick Swayze. I always enjoyed Demi Moore, especially when she had the short hair, looking as adorable as she did in this film and back then. But seeing these two work together, it was just like a match made in heaven type of a role. And it was. No pun intended. Because the thing is that the couple in this film, they were young, they were in love, they were ambitious, and they were ready to go and get their relationship continue going that they were after vacation, marriage, whatever you want to do. I mean, Patrick Swayze, Sam, he played as a banker, worked a very nice job. Then all of a sudden, after that, when they went on a date, he ends up unfortunately getting murdered, and he's basically left stuck on the earth, well, a roaming spirit, not going to be moving on with his life, not crossing over until the answers of what happened to him get solved, and is literally buried and goes to rest. So he ends up meeting up with Whoopi Goldberg, who plays as a psychic fortune teller, who was a scam artist and a con artist for such a long time, but once you realize that she actually does have the supernatural gift of communicating with the spirits, and realize that Sam is there. She can hear him, but she can't see him. She is the only help that he's able to get in order to not only contact his beloved girlfriend Molly, but also warn her of all the troubles that's been coming her way. That the fact that it was his best friend who set up for him to get killed because it was a fucking job in order to get money to pay off some troubles that he ended up getting himself in. So, the story itself is right there. And the fact that the romance of this film is just so touching. This movie contains literally everything that I love in a film where it actually gets you right in the emotions. It's a movie where it has the seriousness, it has the comedy, it'll make you laugh, it'll make you gasp, it'll make you cry, it'll make you angry. And that's one thing about this film that I love is that it really does get you in the emotions and it does time it perfectly of all those things combined. I love Patrick Swayze's character in this film. He was so sympathetic. He was the biggest baby face. You wanted to see him get his revenge. What's his name? When he met him in the subway and contacted him on how to do the poltergeist activity where he's able to touch items, learning how to build up all that aggression. You are one stubborn asshole, shit like that. Him singing Henry VIII I Am by Herman's Hermits to Whoopi Goldberg to annoy her just so she can do things for him and everything. Sure, it's crazy at first with how things were taking place, but as the film progressed, it's all making sense and it's all real. Ghosts do exist and they all communicate in their own way, especially if it's someone who is in the afterlife that you know, love and dear so well as a family member or a beloved pets or a friend, and they're communicating with you in only a way possible, just by one signal. Whether it's like how, for example, how Sam was there in spirit to show that he was there, he was levitating a penny, giving it to her that it was out of love. Shit like that is what touches your heart. And it's like I said, the emotions in this film is all there. I have laughed quite a bit in this movie because of the comedy. I've gasped quite a few times because of how both Whoopi Goldberg and Demi Moore were going to get out of this situation with what's his name chasing after him. The fact that it was all blood money. I have fucking serious moments where I got angry because you realize it was betrayal, even though I kind of knew that the betrayal was going to be there. It was somewhat obvious with how it was set up, which is not necessarily negative, but it was like a small little detail of like, you know what, you knew it was going to happen, but how it was going to play out. So it was just a little thing like that. Also, some effects in the film were a little bit obvious, but then again, 1990 CGI effects like that were coming along, so I can't necessarily give too much negativity for it. But like I said, little nitpicking things like that. Um, but also seeing the effect of how death works, talking with other spirits, seeing what it's like where you realize you're going to go to what heaven looks like with that concept with Patrick Swayze's character, seeing when someone who dies and ends up going to hell, how the fucking demons are coming out grabbing them, taking them to the bottomless pit, how that works. But yeah, just little things like that, showing some symbolic features of how seeing that spirit and before going into afterlife. My God. Just seeing the emotions, the reactions, just the tears, seeing that you see this young couple who had so much to live for, who had so much going on for them, and all of a sudden it was just taken away by a fucking bullet. And just seeing Demi Moore, just finally seeing her significant other for the last time before he goes up there, and just hearing the music of Unchained Melody, or something that was done by the Righteous Brothers in that orchestral feel. Oh my God, the music fit perfectly. Seeing the fucking fortune teller smiling at Adam, moving on, touching, kissing for the last time before he goes up. My God, what really sold it for me was Demi Moore. She was just so wonderful in this movie. Like, just seeing the sympathy of her, just the grief, the mourning, just all the sorrow and sadness because she loved her significant other so much. She loved Sam so much. And Patrick Swayze, Sam wanting to be with her for so much, trying to protect her in any way he can, even though he was a ghost. He was just trying to protect her in the most any way possible. Even as with a therapist telling the truth of exactly, even the private stuff that the therapist didn't necessarily know, but ended up knowing because of the communication that she had speaking with Sam. Just knowing these things, and the fact that it took a little bit of some while. It took a bit for Molly to pick up and understand and learn that this fortune teller learned about this, that she knew about these, that she has a supernatural gift and wasn't lying about any of it, that she knew it. But my goodness gracious, and the fact that Sam was able to put himself into her body for a little while to realize that they are dancing and touching each other for one final time. Hell, even in the beginning of that scene where they're just having that passionate romance where they're playing with the pottery together and Unchained Melodies playing in the background. That's just true love. That is just romance where if I, significant other my son, were just watching this, I'd just be looking at her, I'd just be telling her, I love you so much. Even towards from the beginning, middle, and end. This is like one of those movies where I recommend where if you have a significant other in your life, if you had a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, partner, just somebody in your life that you are in a relationship with or want to be, this is one of those movies where I would definitely watch with a significant other. Why? Just to embrace that I have somebody in my life that I just love and cherish, and I just want to enjoy every single moment of it possible. This to me is one of those date movies, or just one of those movies where you want to get into your feelings and just love somebody, or if there's somebody that you did love and remember them, want to be with again, stuff like that. This is one of those movies. But Patrick Swayze sold it for me. Same with Demi Moore. And Whoopi Goldberg, correct me if I'm wrong, she actually did win an Oscar for this performance for Best Supporting Role. So, Ghost was a movie that I gave a 4.5 out of 5 not counting my little nitpicks for it. But overall, it is such a beautiful movie. It is just wonderful. It's got all the emotions. It's got a really... It's got a story where it's all about getting justice without even doing anything like for that physical contact, but getting justice right there by just being a spirit and just giving someone who who was their life taken away by literally a fucking bullet, making their life hell with just supernatural poltergeist ability. So that is my talk. That is my little talk with you all about Ghost. Watch it if you've never seen it before. It is such a heart wrenching movie. It's gonna make you laugh. It's gonna make you cry. It's gonna make you angry. It's gonna make you have suspense and gasp. And it's got performances. It's got a duo that just worked so beautifully together. But God bless Patrick Swayze and God bless Demi Moore for this movie. So I'm gonna stop rambling right now, and folks, if you have seen Ghost, let me know down below your thoughts in the comments, and ciao for now.